All right, so um, good day again, everyone, and welcome back to my video. And bibigyan naman ako ng aking opinion sa mga bagay-bagay. And as promised, my focus will now shift sa sa Congress. So today, I want to talk about one of the strangest and honestly one of the most genius move I've seen recently in Philippine politics. So I'm going to talk about Congressman Kiko Barzaga. Si Meow Meow Meow. No? So the way he carried himself in public this past few weeks, his interview with Ogie Diaz, and how this whole issue is now reflecting the bigger, messier problem inside Congress. So here's the context, no? Barzaga is now facing an ethics complaint. So they're accusing him of making unlawful, immoral posts online, inciting seditious activities, and just generally being conduct unbecoming of a congressman. So if you think about it, it sounds very heavy. But then if you look closer and you realize this might not actually be about his posts, no, or what he's been doing. It's actually for me the ethics complaint is about the noise that he's actually creating. So Barzaga basically turned himself into the story in a very bizarre and, for me, humorous way that it forced people to actually look at the silence of everyone else. Especially if it's about the Speaker of the House and about Mr. or Congressman Zaldico. And here, this is where it gets interesting. So recently, he had an interview with Ogie Diaz, and there Barzaga said that he said point blank, "I do not have mental issues. I'm not losing my mind. I just choose to act differently because it seems that's the only way to get people to pay attention." Now, for me, that's the genius of it. Instead of giving long, boring, privileged speeches, like what the Senate are doing, based on what I covered the past three videos, those speeches actually gets buried in the news cycle. Pinapahapyawan lang yun sa news. Onti lang yun talagang na-feature. Unless kadramahan ni Joel Villanueva. But, again, I'm not going to talk about Senate. For me, Congressman Kiko, he acted in a way that was half humorous and half satirical. He said on the video, or he said on the interview, that he is doing Kiko. So that's who he really is. But for me, what he's doing is enough to make headlines, enough to trend on social media, enough to force people to ask, why is Barzaga doing this? What's really going on inside Congress? And when you zoom out, the bigger picture becomes more clear. So while Barzaga is being hit with an antics case on, one seems to be beating an eye at Zaldico, the former appropriations chair, who is at the center of a much, much bigger controversy. Think about it. The entire Congress is taking heat right now because of the corruption scandals. Yet, instead of pushing for Congressman Zaldico to face the criticism head on, instead of demanding accountability from the leadership, the House is not doing that. And they're focusing on Barzaga. Especially the people who are part of the this majority and has positions. Um, it's crazy to think about that on some of the interviews that they're giving, after they talk about the flood control projects, they will bring up Kiko without even the interviewer asking about him. So it's crazy that they're trying to not talk about what needs to be talked about and trying to pin or trying to make Kiko the bad guy in Congress. It's really for me it's really stupid, no. But again, that's the humor and the irony of the entire situation. The man that is making noise becomes the target, while the people at the center of the real mess stays quiet and untouched. But let's be real. Barzaga's antics are working. If you look at social media right now, the DDS loves him. The Pinks hate him with, it's really crazy. But whether you like it or not, whether you think his style is very strange or even embarrassing, it has opened people's eyes. So the ethic complaint itself is a proof that if his words and actions were truly meaningless, why would the entire house suddenly unite to discipline him? Why are we hearing people that used to like him suddenly giving derogatory words, no? Even telling people that he's crazy or he has mental problem. It is really bizarre. But if the reality is his bizarre approach exposed how fragile and defensive Congress has become. Instead of trying to prove their integrity by directly investigating Zaldico, or addressing the silence of the former speaker, they're trying to make an easy scapegoat using Congressman Kiko. But unfortunately, what he's doing, or Kiko just made a genius move, parang sa chess. Because it shows us something that we wouldn't normally see. So most of the time, Congress works quietly. They protect their own, like sweeping controversies under the rug, waiting for the public to move on certain issues. But I think right now, Barzaga disrupted that rhythm. So if you noticed yung mga hearings sa Congress, they're trying to pin things sa mga senators. They're moving it, they're throwing it away, they're throwing the investigation far from former Speaker Romualdez and Zaldico. Where in fact, Congressman Toby Chanco already pointed it out that it's Zaldico's insertion that gave 13 billion, 18 billion additional funds for Mindoro. And it's crazy that these people in Congress doesn't if they don't have, they feel like what they're doing is being praised by the public, wherein everyone in the public, even people who has different political ideals, sees that what the majority in Congress are doing is stupid. And basically they're trying to protect one. Meron akong narinig na quote ni Toby Charco. Sabi ni Kong Toby, I don't understand why are we protecting Zaldico and Speaker Romualdez. We are 300 representatives sa Congress. bakit takot na takot tayo sa isa? So, yun nga, Barzaga disrupted yung rhythm. What he's doing right now, he's injecting humor. He acted out of the norm, and in doing so, he made the public look straight at the contradictions inside the house. It's almost like political theater. And like any good theater, it's entertaining. It's definitely confusing. But most importantly, it makes viewers, or it makes people think. So here's the bottom line. Barzaga might be facing an ethic complaint, but the real issue is not him. The real issue is how Congress, no, especially yung mga yung majority, and I forgot the name of the girl, parang nagpa-interview siya, and it's crazy how she tries to parang siraan si Kiko. Tapos pagdating kay Zaldico, she doesn't give any comments at all. So Congress chooses who to silence and who to protect. So it's about how one man acting out of line becomes a problem, while the bigger scandal and the bigger name goes untouched. So that's why I call this move by Kiko, or Congressman Kiko, both humorous and genius at the same time, because he turned himself into a spotlight, and that spotlight is now shining on the very cracks that that its leaders don't want us to see. So kudos to Sir Kiko. What you're doing is definitely funny. It's different, but it's working. It gives, nagbibigay siya ng mata on what's really happening sa Congress and kung paano yung leaders ng Congress natin. So, I know people would say na Barzaga is crazy, or probably some will say Barzaga is crazy smart. But for me, I'd say that it's a little bit of both. But one thing for sure, he just exposed something bigger than himself. And that's why this story matters. No? That's why Kiko's story matters. I'd like you guys, encourage you guys to watch yung interview niya with Ogie. Ogie Alcasi tuloy. Ogie Diaz. Because that was very truthful of yung answers niya dun. And you will really see that this kid is smart. And you will know na may purpose yung ginagawa niya. And at the same time, very articulate compared to other people sa Congress. Yun lang masabi ko. Check nyo rin yung other interviews ng mga Congress natin na tumitira sa kanya. It's really weird na pagdating sa question kay Saldico and kay Romualdez, hindi sila makapagbigay ng mahabang comment. Pero about Kiko, parang kulang na lang sabihin nila hindi siya dapat na maging congressman, while Zaldico, as being pointed out by all those involved, na siya yung may malaking kasalanan kung bakit lumobo yung flood control projects and bakit nagkaroon ng sobrang daming pangungurakot. So that's it. Sometimes, so I'll just leave you guys with this. Sometimes the funniest moves in politics are also the one that shows us the most truth. So that's it for me for this video, and thank you guys for continue watching. Siguro yung next video ko is about yung katatapos lang na Blue Ribbon hearing, kasi may mga funny stuff din na nangyari dun. So yun lang, peace out.